The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of Digi-all. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to Digi-all Tech News. Today is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. I'm Kylie Brooks, and this is where technology becomes clear and engaging. Microsoft reveals its second-generation AI chip, the Maia 200, positioning itself to compete with Nvidia. A new study finds the UK is losing jobs to AI faster than any other major economy. Anthropic launches interactive apps for Claude, bringing workplace integrations to its AI assistant. Scientists are investigating a 2,000-year-old artifact that appears to be an ancient battery. Apple is working on an AI pin, a screenless wearable that could eventually replace your smartphone. Let's start with Microsoft. Yesterday, the company announced the Maia 200, the second generation of its custom AI chip. This is a significant move because Microsoft is trying to reduce its dependence on Nvidia, which currently dominates the AI chip market. According to Scott Guthrie, Microsoft's Executive Vice President for Cloud and AI, the Maia 200 delivers 30% higher performance than comparable options at the same price point. What's really interesting here is the architecture. The chip is built on TSMC's cutting-edge 3nm process, and up to 4 chips can be connected using Ethernet cables instead of the more expensive InfiniBand connections. Microsoft says they can scale up to over 6,000 chips working together. Initially, the chip will be used internally by Microsoft's Superintelligence team, Microsoft 365 Copilot for business users, and the Microsoft Foundry service. Developers and researchers can apply for early access to the software development kit. Now, here's a story that deserves attention. A Morgan Stanley study released yesterday found that the UK is experiencing net job losses from AI at a rate of 8% over the past year. That's higher than the United States, Japan, Germany, and Australia. British companies are seeing productivity gains of around 11.5% from AI, which matches the US. But here's the difference. American companies are creating more jobs than they're cutting, while British firms are not. Several factors are at play here, including high costs, taxes, minimum wage increases, and employer national insurance hikes. Over a quarter of British workers fear losing their jobs to AI within the next 5 years, with Gen Z being the most worried. London Mayor Sadiq Khan has warned that the capital is particularly vulnerable given its concentration of white-collar jobs in finance and professional services. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon has called for intervention to support displaced workers before the situation leads to social unrest. Anthropic made a notable announcement yesterday with the launch of interactive apps for Claude. If you're a Pro, Max, Team, or Enterprise subscriber, you can now connect Claude directly to tools like Slack, Canva, Figma, and Box, with Salesforce integration coming soon. This means Claude can actually take actions on your behalf, like sending messages, generating designs, or managing files. The feature builds on Anthropic's Model Context Protocol, an open standard they introduced in 2024. It's worth noting that OpenAI launched a similar app system back in October, so we're seeing the major AI companies converge on this idea of AI assistants that can interact with your actual work tools. Anthropic is emphasizing safety here, recommending that users create dedicated folders for sensitive information and monitor interactions closely. Now for something completely different. Scientists are taking a fresh look at the Baghdad Battery, a clay jar discovered in Iraq in the 1930s that dates back about 2,000 years. Inside the jar is a copper cylinder and an iron rod, which some researchers believe could have functioned as a primitive galvanic cell, similar to batteries invented by Alessandro Volta centuries later. The original artifact disappeared after the 2003 US invasion, so all current research relies on replicas. Independent researcher Alexander Bazes published new findings in Chemistry World, claiming the device could produce 1.4 volts, about the same as a modern AA battery. His theory is that it was used in rituals to corrode prayers written on paper, However, skeptics, including University of Pennsylvania archaeologist William Hafford, suggest it was simply used to store written prayers for burial in rituals to underworld deities. It's a fascinating debate that highlights how much we still don't know about ancient technologies. Finally, let's talk about what Apple might have in the works. Reports indicate the company is developing something called the AI Pin, a screenless wearable device expected to debut in 2027. According to sources, it would have a compact aluminum and glass design resembling a thicker AirTag, with a single button and discrete charging. The device would feature dual cameras for object recognition and augmented reality, plus audio integration with speaker and microphones for voice commands. Perhaps most notably, it would reportedly integrate conversational AI through a partnership with Google, using the Gemini model to enhance Siri for more complex, context-aware queries. This puts Apple in competition with devices like the Humane Pin and whatever OpenAI has been working on. If true, it signals that Apple sees the future of personal computing extending well beyond the smartphone. That's your tech news for today. We'll continue monitoring Microsoft's push into custom silicon, the evolving job market in the age of AI, and the race to make AI assistants truly useful for everyday work. Plus, we'll keep an eye on whether Apple's wearable ambitions materialize next year. Thank you for staying informed with Digi-all Tech News. I'm Kylie Brooks. We'll be back with more updates as they develop.